it's Ann Taylor Pittman, Executive Editor at Cooking Light. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a really fun recipe to share with you. I'll be making skillet fajita pitas. So it's a play on fajitas. We're just going to stuff the chicken and bell pepper mixture into a pita instead of a tortilla. My pan is kind of angry with me, so I'm just going to move it around. We're good. Okay, so the secret ingredient to this recipe and what makes the chicken so delicious is chili garlic sauce. So I'm going to show this. You'll find this with the Asian foods in the grocery store, chili garlic sauce. It is divine. It's something great to keep on hand. Aside from this recipe, I would suggest folding it into omelets, serving it with eggs, putting it on burgers. I think it's just great for everything. If you're eating, you know, a bowl of soup or a noodle bowl and it needs a little kick, you can add this and it's wonderful. So I'm going to start by combining 1 tablespoon of that chili garlic sauce. I have a little bit left that I'm going to reserve for the end, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice and 1 tablespoon of olive oil together. That's going to flavor the chicken in just a minute. Okay, so I have my cast iron skillet very, very hot here. I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil. Stand back. I must have a little liquid in there because I'm popping. Okay. And then to that I'm adding 1 pound of thinly sliced chicken breasts. I'm going to put that in the pan and just kind of leave it there for about a minute. I just want it to sear, so I'm going to not touch it. Put that aside. Get some clean tongs over here. So while that's going, I'm going to slice up my bell pepper. So one tip when you're looking for bell peppers, if you can find one that has 4 distinct sides, I think you get more meat or more flesh off the bell pepper. Sometimes they're triangular shaped and you just don't get quite as much bell pepper for your buck. So just cut off the 4 sides. Makes it easy just to toss this, put that in your compost. There's a little bit of trimming to do here with these membranes, but not much. And then I'll thinly slice this. By the time I get it sliced, it'll be time to stir the chicken. So you could definitely use a red bell pepper or an orange bell pepper. If you'd like, you could use a green bell pepper. Just know that the flavor of a green bell pepper is pretty pungent. Red, yellow, and orange bell peppers are sweet. They're very kid-friendly. But green bell peppers have a pretty strong vegetal taste. You know, they taste kind of green. I don't know how else to describe it. You could definitely use that, especially if you're growing them in your garden. They'd be lovely here, but just know that the flavor is going to be a little stronger. Just slicing this guy up. It's about time to stir the chicken. It's still fairly raw. I need to pull my other tongs in. Raw tongs. Okay, so this cooked for about a minute. I'm going to stir it around. Starting to get some browning. That's nice. So I just very thinly slice the chicken, sort of against the grain. My pan is piping hot. I preheated it on high until it got mad at me and started beeping at me. Okay. While that's going, let me trim my zucchini. I'm going to cut this on the diagonal. These slices are pretty large, so actually I'm going to go a little rogue because they're kind of large, and I'm going to cut them in half. It's just going to make them easier to go into the pita. So since I'm doing that, let me just cut this zucchini completely in half. Arrange it on the flat side so that it doesn't roll around. Let me get that going. I am going to use all of this in just a minute. Still going back to my raw tongs. Turn up my heat a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, the chicken is mostly done. I'm going to kind of push it to the edges of the pan. It's going to continue cooking. It will continue until it gets done, hopefully get a little bit more browning. And I'm going to add the bell pepper right into the middle. If you don't like bell pepper and you like onions, hey, just substitute an onion. There is no sliced onion in this recipe, which is a little bit different for a fajita recipe. We have some onion coming in at the end in the form of scallions, but we don't have sliced onion. You could definitely use it here though if you don't like bell pepper. Now if you don't like bell pepper or onion, well, maybe you want to double up on the zucchini. But you want some sort of vegetable element in here, something that offers a little crunch and a little contrasting flavor to the chicken. Okay, zucchini is good to go here. While this continues cooking, I'm gonna mix up the sauce. Okay, so the first sauce I mixed up was the chili garlic sauce, lime juice, and olive oil. That's gonna go in to flavor the chicken in just a minute. I have a finishing sauce that's gonna go into the pitas that is lime juice and sour cream and a little bit more of that chili garlic sauce. So that's gonna create kind of a spicy cream moment for our fajita pitas. If you are serving this to your family and you have members of your family who are sensitive to heat, you could definitely decrease the amount of chili garlic sauce. It's not as spicy as, say, sriracha or sambal, but it does definitely have a kick. You could decrease it. I would encourage you to use some, maybe not the 1.5 tablespoons that the recipe calls for. Okay. Ooh, yeah, this is doing good. So now I'm gonna add the zucchini. We're just building in the pan. You wanna make sure you use a large enough skillet to accommodate everything. This is about a 12-inch skillet. If you don't have cast iron, try to use a stainless steel skillet if you have one of those. Non-stick is not gonna give you the nice browning and the nice sear that we're looking for here. See, my chicken is getting nice and seared. My bell peppers are getting some nice sear. That's what we want. Ooh, look at this bell pepper. Yeah, that is good. Because wherever there's that browning and that char, there's flavor.
And we have a quick question.
Okay, great.
If you wanted to use a different protein than chicken, is there something else that you might recommend?
That's a great question. Yes, you could, if you didn't want to use chicken and you wanted to go vegetarian, you could definitely use tofu. I would slice it up thinly, try to get that nice sear on it. Maybe press it between paper towels, put a weight on it to try to draw out some of the moisture. You could also use shrimp here. It will need to cook less. So I would say cook the shrimp until it's pretty much done, pull it out of the skillet, and then proceed with your peppers and zucchini. You don't want it to get overcooked. And you could always use beef. A flank steak or a skirt steak would be delicious here. That's a great question. Or if you're still in the mood for chicken thighs, boneless, skinless thighs will work beautifully. That's a great question. Yeah, customize this according to whatever you love or have on hand. You know, I know that drives a lot of our cooking decisions. What do I have on hand? Or what's in the freezer? What did I buy on sale that time at Costco? Ooh, flipping stuff out of my hand. Okay, this is just about ready. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. I have not seasoned this yet. Now I'm adding in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/4 cup of scallions. So as I mentioned before, we don't have sliced onions in this fajita mix, but we do have some scallions here. I'm adding just at the last minute. And then this sauce that consists of the oil, the chili garlic sauce, and some lime juice. That's just gonna finish out our filling here. Ooh, it's looking good, smelling great. Nice and colorful. Okay, let me turn this off. And we're ready to assemble. So again, if you're serving this to kids, okay, just bear with me. I'm gonna take a bite and see how spicy it is. Medium. Depending on your tolerance for heat. To me, it's a medium. Once you tuck it into the pita though, the bread is going to mitigate some of the spice. So definitely if you're sensitive to heat, I would say start with maybe just a teaspoon of the chili garlic sauce. You want some in there to give you like a little punch, a little fun. So I have some pitas here that I toasted before we went on air. We toast in the skillet, dry skillet, for about a minute on each side. Kind of like when you're working with corn tortillas. If you take the time to toast them and lightly char, you get so much more flavor. It's definitely worth the little bit of effort. Now, ideally, I would love to encourage you to use whole wheat pitas. This is what we found today. They're great. Whenever possible, try to go whole wheat. So each person gets 2 stuffed pita halves, which is a pretty nice filling meal, a pretty nice filling dinner. I'm just stuffing it here with some chopped Bib lettuce. You use whatever lettuce you have on hand. It's nice to have the green and the crunch in there. If you want to go super crunchy, try romaine, or you could even use cabbage for a heartier crunch. Just you do you. Go with what you have on hand, go with what you like. Okay? And now I'm just gonna stuff some of this yummy mixture. I've got that spiced up chicken, the bell pepper, the zucchini. The zucchini makes it feel really summery. I'll add the sauce here at the last minute. This serves 4, so it's perfect if you have a family of 4. If you're serving 2 people, obviously you'll have leftovers for 2. Perfect to take for lunch. So pack your chicken mixture separately from your pitas, of course, so that they don't get soggy. And then you can just reheat your chicken mixture and assemble your tacos. Have a little container for your sauce. Or you may just decide you want to skip the sauce for your leftover lunch. So this is full fat sour cream in this sauce. It's a 1/4 cup of full fat sour cream. I want to encourage you, if you're using just a little bit of sour cream to make a sauce, I want to encourage you to try to go full fat. Now, you may not be comfortable with that. I know a lot of you are not comfortable with full fat, but just try it. It's an accompaniment, it's a condiment. It's going to make the fajitas just that much more delicious, and you're not using much of it. This recipe for all of this food, for 2 stuffed pita halves, still has just 3 grams of saturated fat. That's super low. So we can go full fat if it encourages us to eat healthier overall. Again, it's used as a condiment, so go with it. Okay, so those are skillet fajita pitas from start to finish. They take 25 minutes. It's a wonderful meal. Again, you can customize if you're serving your family or serving kids who don't like spicy foods. Just go down on the chili garlic sauce. And that is skillet fajita pitas, perfect for a weeknight. 25 minutes from start to finish. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe so that you'll get notifications when we go live. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.